So whether or not they try a time jump, they want me to jump forwards.
Good find, Jack. There's a significant quantity of data here, and I believe much of it can be used in our effort to develop a cure.
Right. So I can't remember where we were now. Are we going up there or not? I assume we are. Or is this... Actually, no, I don't think we are. I think this is where we've already been. Because we need to go get the workstation to bring down here. So in the end, we're going to... Oh. Because if you look at my log, I've got so many things to do in it. That may be useful data within this area. There's so many things I could do. Let's have a look. So we've upgraded that, we've upgraded that. I'm just getting rid of the... Oh, I need to get into the...
Shields at 95%.
There we go. I forgot I was actually in an irradiated zone. Right. So return to Harlan's ship is one we could do. Drone control hub. There's another area of research. Didn't we do that?
Shields at 95%.
Oof, that was tough. It's either that or it's done one of the things where it hasn't marked it off. Oh. There's another area of research facility that may be worth investigating. There may be some useful data within the area. So obviously I haven't got all of the data. That's what it's telling me. So there's nothing up there. So what's that that's 98 meters away? It's an enclosed space. There's nothing around here to do. Network terminal.
Thank you, Jack. One moment. Curious. So that explains the drone's abnormal behavior.
You want to enlighten the rest of us there, Juno?
Sometime during the initial outbreak, the control hub's power grid was severed. No longer able to communicate with the hub, the drones simply continued executing the last valid command they received.
Waiting for a reset that never came.
Exactly. There's even a logged message from a few moments before the power outage. I'll pass it to your data tab, Jack. In addition, I've uncovered a cache of data detailing potential methods for removing biomass microparticles from the hulls of the cargo drones. It could prove useful.
Let's have a listen.
To anyone on station at Research Drone Control Hub, I really hope you made it out already. But if you haven't, they're cutting power any minute now. So, if you're able to EVA, get your ass in a suit and hop out on airlock ASAP. We can rendezvous at the construction site. I'll be there and we'll have a shuttle on station for the next hour. Good luck.
Okay. Right, well, there's still something over there. Is there?
We're all ready when you are, Jack. Come meet us back on the ship once you're prepared to return to the past.
So we are in the future. That's the thing. Area of research facility may be worth investigating. An airlock to provide entry. Alright, I just gotta find where that is without. I don't know if I've been up there, have I? Who knows?
Data recovered. Network status connected. We're making good progress, Jack.
So something 170. And that's it. Just have to see whether 100 meters away, is it down?
Nice work, Jack. There's a lot of good data here. It should help in developing a cure significantly.
So that's going. It's 50 meters away. Right, so that's 38 meters away. Oh, it's this bit. I don't think I could understand how to do this bit. I think there's probably something quite obvious that I've missed. Because here's the thing. So we've got a door there. Alright. Which is an airlock. But we can't get through the airlock. Yet. And it hasn't got power to it. So... I'm sure it's probably got something to do with this drone that keeps coming down here to collect stuff. Because I mean, this just heads out, I think. Yeah, this just heads out. Which is no use to me. So I think I've grabbed all of the receipts from those three things. So, I'm ahead. There's this bit here, and this is the bit I don't understand. Because now that I haven't if I power that, it makes this active, which means you can't get through. But if I turn it off, you can. Right? So that door's not got a thing on it. I'm sure there's something really obvious I'm missing.
Jack, I believe we have everything we need to send you to the past. Please return to the ship when you're ready.
Because you can hear something going on through there. That leads me to believe that might be a little clue. If you turn this back on, power returns to certain things. But it's this bit here. I'm led to kind of believe that there's something you should be doing with this. You should be able to open the airlock from here. Because I thought you could actually put your hand through and then press the thingy. Because I suppose even if turn that off. See, the power's on, but I've turned off the wall. So I can now get out with the power on. But it doesn't do anything here to let me through. So I don't know about that. I'm just tempted to think there's just something around here that I'm missing. What else have we got? I wonder whether this is I wonder whether I can grab one of those drones and maybe use the drone to do something through that door. Because it just seems very weird that that thing keeps landing. What other things have we got? Oop. Right, how far away is that one? That's 500 meters away. What about that one? Keep recovering lots of data, but it doesn't seem to be doing an awful lot. Went over there. I'll have to have a think. The world is so big that they have to have loading areas. Ooh, that's me head. That was just a shortcut to somewhere. Is this the bit that has like, it has two... Can't do anything with that. And that's inactive. So just have a feeling that that's for when you get an upgrade, so you'll be able to do 2 at once. It's either that or I'm missing something completely obvious. Where's the other one? The other one's down there. Ow. Oh, missed him. No. Come back, you prick. Yeah. Again, this is another one of these, look, 2 things at once there, look. But you can't do anything about that. I don't know if there's something you need to drag up or... No. I have a feeling we're coming back. That's my feeling. Not sure why my controller's doing a thing.
Jack, preparations to send you back to the past are complete. Meet us back on the ship whenever you're ready.
So for some reason the controller is stuck in a loop of vibrating. I don't know why. So this mission is This doesn't help. Just says maybe worth exploring. I mean, if I can't figure this one out, then I'm going to go back to the... Not sure why I need a battery. It's got a little bit of charge left. Oh. Dropped it. Could this be the key to this bit? Those things are too busy fucking that. Gonna leave the battery here, but at least I think I am. Where did it go? So this looks like it should do something, but... Where did I drop the battery? See, they end up screwing that, and then don't get it.
Shields at 95%.
Get off me!
50%. Shields at 30%.
So, I mean, it doesn't open the door or anything, does it? Well, it activates that airlock. How do I... Where is that airlock?
This X3 must have been responding to the presence of biomass on the excavator.
Most likely. Visual analysis suggests the shell's data port is still active. Perhaps it has more information to offer.
So how do we get through there? That's the third weird thing. I don't know where the thing is that activates that. But that's definitely where... Oh, I see it. I fucking see it. Wrong one. Did that get it? It did. Oh, it moves. Ah! Sorry, dude. So we're going to grab your data.
Stand by while I parse the data. Interesting. Somehow the biomass prevented the excavator from automatically shutting down. This X3 unit was tasked with performing a manual shutdown. Doctor, I found another recording as well.
Nora.
Yes. I can archive the message if you prefer.
No, it's all right. Go ahead.
Director Park, Habitat A has been vacated. All residents are aboard the evac shuttle.
All right, good. Wait until the shuttle has cleared moorings, then shut down the auxiliary power station. Make sure everything is offline.
Director, please verify last command. With the primary generator already deactivated, you will not get license.
You heard me. As soon as the Habe shuttle is clear, shut everything down. Then transfer your protocols to the nearest evac ship. The survivors are your priority now. The rest of us are already dead.
Acknowledged, Director. I will be sure to make special note of your actions in my debriefing.
Just go.
How many people were unhappy during the outbreak?
14, including 6 children.
She bought them time. Probably saved all their lives.
That was her job. Juno, be sure to save that log. Keep it with the others.
Of course, Doctor.
Right, we're gonna go shut off the power. Or reroute the power. Because now we're able to get through there. Oh, there's the battery. So that means they become dormant. I'm just wondering what happens when you go through there without the power. Curiosity killed the robot. This bit's fiddly because it's very difficult to see. Where the thing is. Is it? Is it now not letting me through? Oh, it is there. I can see it. It's just I'm not in the right position to get it. There we go. Right. So now that that's shut off, there was a reason why that was there. I have a feeling that's a bug. What's the use of this bit? Is this something to collect? Why is this bit here? Don't understand. So was this so we've listened to that.
Director Park.
And recovered, blah blah blah. Investigate cave. So you can make all of that dormant. It's not giving me a marker for... So that's that. That's a beacon. Still giving me something over there though. It wants me to do the signal relays. It's desperate for me to do the signal relays. But I'm really not that interested in jumping all over the rock. Especially a speed thing. So, cargo intake. So the one over there's a main mission. This will be our last go at something here before we go on with the main thing. Unless this is where we've already been. Oh, we're loading. Oh, this is this section.
We are all ready when you are, Jack. Come meet us back on the ship once you're prepared to return to the past.
So we've already looked at that drone there. Get off! Where did he come from? There's now two there. I wonder if I can move them all over to that one. I'm going to deactivate that one. Oh. Doesn't have a big range, does it? try and drag them over there. Oh, fucking bollocks.
It's at 95%.
I just want to move them all away from that one. Damn it, missed him. So when that deactivates, he tries to go back to where he was. You see?
Shields at 50%.
Yeah. Eee. I reckon this could be a decoy. So we get them all to hump this. Wrong one. It's that one.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
Damn it. I thought I'd got away with it. I had thought I had got away with it. I mean, I'm seeing my dead bodies in there. Is there a way?
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
Well, it's now back to 1 now. See, where does he try and go?
The X3 shell is somewhat different from my original specification.
Does that present an issue?
Only in so much as I do not yet fully identify the physical form as my own. Is that unusual?
Uncertain. I know that for many humans, conceptualizing their identity can be a challenge. However, I do not possess any record of a synthetic experiencing that particular difficulty. You may be the first. Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
Didn't realise there was another one in there. You know what? Screw this bit.
Shields at 95%.
Get off my face.
Shields at 50%.
Get off.
30%.
Well, I don't know about that bit. I'm sure there's probably like an upgrade which is gonna make that a hell of a lot easier. We're just gonna go back to the main mission. I should really have recharged myself, but can I recharge myself on these ones? I don't know. I don't really know. Should just be able to, yeah. Here we go. Been a long time since I've been back here. Into the airlock we go. Oh. Bonk.
Hello, Jack. If you're looking for the captain, she's in the workshop with Dr. Harlan.
The workshop, eh?
What is that? A motion detection system?
One of several independent sensors rigged to trigger detonation.
So it won't release the spores until it detects something they can feed on. Jack, there you are.
Good. He's finally here.
Dr. Harlan and I were just giving this torpedo the once-over while we waited.
Learn anything useful?
Yeah, it's a death trap.
Not that that's anything he has to worry about. Now then, are we ready to begin?
Not quite yet. There are still a few things I'd like to look into.
Sure thing. Just let us know when you're ready to get started.
Try not to be all day about it.
Shut up.
What can you tell us about the biomass, Doctor?
Very little. Far less than one would hope.
Humanity has lived with this organism for 400 years. We must have learned something.
Well, we know it's not actually a single organism. Once it's released into an environment, the biomass immediately begins evolving. It's diversifying into a variety of distinct species, all stemming from the same base element.
Then it's an entire ecosystem.
That is the prevailing theory.
What have we learned about the biomass's composition?
We know it's a form of synthetic biopolymer, engineered to consume a wide range of chemical structures. That is the more troubling question, isn't it? We know the Astrea carried the biomass into this timeline, but as to its true origins, we only have theories and conjecture. No conclusive facts. In truth, I'm not sure it's a question I need answered. Whoever engineered the biomass, they either still exist or they don't. Both possibilities are equally terrifying.
Dr. Harlan, how well do you understand the internal mechanism of these biotorpedoes?
The mechanism? Only enough to know that as part of its detonation process, it catalyzes the base genetic material within to create a stream of infectious spores.
Yes, I have witnessed that event firsthand.
But you are certain you have seen a torpedo prior to that stage, one that has not detonated yet?
Yes, several in fact.
Good.
Has to be done. Oop. What's it for then? If it's not for that. What can you put in it? Who knows?
I am ready to begin. That is assuming all the details have been sorted out.
Yes, everything's in order. Let's proceed.
Hold on. There's still some particulars that need ironing out here.
There are always going to be unknowns. That's just something we have to accept.
Let's assume this works. Let's assume we open another anomaly and send Jack's consciousness back to the past. What exactly is he supposed to do when he gets there?
Locate an undetonated biomass torpedo and sample the genetic material inside.
So you can use the data to create a cure. Right. I get that. I'm saying, how is he supposed to do it? It's not like he can physically bring the sample back with him. And if he's in a combat shell, it won't be fitted to do a medical scan. How will he collect the data?
He'll have to improvise, of course.
Apollo?
Greetings, Captain Rhodes. I have analyzed the situation and would like to propose a solution.
It's good to see you too.
We can exchange more formal pleasantries later if you like, Captain. For now, if you would please proceed to the holotable.
All right, Apollo, let's hear it. How does Jack get the data from the biomass incubator?
According to Jack's memory logs, the last anomaly caused his protocols to transfer into a Series 10 combat shell. This unit was equipped with a threat scanner, which could be reconfigured to gather data on biomass specimens. Once we've successfully located a biomass torpedo, I will repurpose his threat scanner to collect data from the incubator inside. The collected data should then easily transfer back with us.
Apollo, Are you certain you can travel through the anomaly with me?
A copy of my protocols has already been integrated into your architecture. I see no reason why we would not be transported together.
And how do we know you'll be transported to the right time and place?
These anomalies do tend to be somewhat unpredictable.
Perhaps, but I have observed some consistent behaviors. An FTL corruption sent the Estrella back 400 years.
Nearly killing us both in the process.
Correct. And re-engaging that same FTL caused the ship to jump forward, again by 400 years.
Similar conditions, similar result.
Precisely. And the FTL aboard this ship has demonstrated comparable behavior. I expect if we closely replicate the conditions that caused your previous jump through time, we will produce a near identical result.
In other words, they should arrive at roughly the same time and place where your android first saw the torpedo.
And once they've got the data, how do we get them back?
Apollo, any theories?
According to the FTL's output logs.
Excuse me? You're reading our logs?
Well, they are not encrypted. As I was saying, according to the logs, the moment the FTL drive was disengaged, Jack's consciousness returned automatically.
That's correct. Dr. Harlan and I believe Jack's time in the past is directly correlated to the state of the FTL drive. In essence, Jack, the longer the drive here remains active, the more time you'll have in the past.
We'll keep it running for as long as we can. Give you as much time as possible.
The Estrella's fuel cell is exceedingly efficient and will most likely last long enough for us to locate an incubator and collect the relevant data.
Once we disengage the FTL, you should be returned to the present time.
Should? You're gonna have to do a bit better than should.
This is time travel we're talking about. All we have are best guesses.
What is your honest assessment, Apollo? How likely are we to succeed?
I would be unable to calculate accurate strategic odds based on the available data. Ultimately, we must do the best we can with the information we have.
This is the only way we get a cure. The only way we survive. You, me, everyone.
He's already made his mind up anyway. I can tell. I just wish we had a better plan than let's shove Jack in an anomaly and hope it all works out.
Juno, prep the engineering bay.
Right away, Doctor.
Jack.
It's all right, Liv. I've done this before.
Once. By accident.
I'm sure I'll be fine.
I don't know if you're being naive or just really optimistic. Just make sure you come back safely, all right?
Is that an order, Captain?
Well, technically we're both captains, remember? But yes, that is an order.
Acknowledged, Captain. I will do everything in my power to return safely.
The engineering bay is prepped and ready.
Good. Seal all the ship's bulkheads. We cannot risk any accidental contamination once we do.
Of course, Doctor. Jack, please enter the control room and the engineering bay below. This way.
Apollo, is this one of your AI cores?
Affirmative. Once I became aware of the salvage attempts on the Estrella, I began disabling intruding equipment with a suite of electronic countermeasures. Apparently, this core was taken before my defenses were in place.
Well, now that you're here, will you disable whatever protocols it's using to prevent access?
Negative. It is still imperative that I minimize the distribution of the Estrella's classified technology. Of course, should this particular element prove relevant in stopping the biomass, I will lift the restriction at that time.
Very well.
Okay. Oh. Performance went to shit. I haven't had my first crash yet, which fills me with not so much confidence. Performance has gone to shit.
Please follow me to the control room, Jack. It's ready.
Whoa!
The control room is right through this door.
Yes, I remember this. I remember this.
Sealing the engineering bay now. Engineering bay sealed.
Dr. Harlan? Any inspiring words?
No.
We all believe in you, Jack. To varying degrees.
Your confidence is appreciated.
Can we get started?
Right away, Doctor. Jack, please adjust the dials to connect the fuel cell conduits to the drive core. First conduit connection complete. Both conduit connections are complete.
Good. We are ready to release the ticks into the engineering bay. Once you engage the FTL, they should begin feeding on it and create an anomaly, just like before.
Jack, are you ready for us to release the ticks?
Ready to proceed, Juno.
Acknowledged.
Were the lights supposed to turn off like that?
Don't worry. We're just rerouting power so the ticks can only feed on the FTL drive. Stand by. Releasing tick specimens.
Well, I certainly seem to have their attention.
Once you engage the drive, they should be drawn to the FTL. All systems are primed. Awaiting ignition.
Do it. Engage the FTL. Now.
FTL drive engaged. Biomass FTL interaction confirmed. The ticks are affecting the drive stability.
Here goes. Stay safe, Jack.
Of course, Liv.
Anomalous readings detected.
Take care of him, Apollo.
I shall do my utmost, Captain.
Anomalous readings spiking.
Good luck, Jack.
Okay.
Cover in Delta Squad. Delta 6 requesting assistance. Is severely irradiated. Shell integrity currently below 60%. Secured shelter, wreckage of the Kronos 2. If you're receiving this transmission, please respond.
We have arrived. What is your status?
Core systems appear operational.
Good. We must keep in mind, this combat shell was not designed for biomass engagement. Any contact with the infestation will render us immediately inoperable.
Where should we begin searching?
Undetermined. I'll scan the area for identifiable landmarks.
There was a transmission from a Delta member as we arrived. Did you hear it as well?
Affirmative. They are continuing to broadcast. I'll patch them in now.
Kronos 2 wreckage. Currently assessing biotorpedoes in the area.
I recognize this unit as Delta 6.
Interesting. It appears this Delta 6 has already located several torpedoes. Reaching their location may be our most expedient option.
Is it possible to make contact from here?
Negative. There's too much interference in the signal. We should first clear ourselves of this debris, then see if the signal strengthens. However, we should check your equipment before we go. I will do my best to keep this expedient. Let's begin with your shielding. This unit has been optimized for combat scenarios and is capable of regenerating its shield without the use of external chargers. However, a significant delay is required for the process to begin after sustaining damage. You may need to exercise patience.
Understood.
Next is your armament. This unit is equipped with an M19C repeater, designation Pulsar. Jack, are you comfortable wielding a firearm?
I'm accustomed to operating new tools. I'm certain learning to use this armament will be no different.
Very well. I shall construct a brief simulation so that you may familiarize yourself with the device. Your armament is now unlocked. Open fire on the targets. Targets eliminated. Unfortunately, should we encounter ticks, it is unlikely they will be quite so docile. These targets should provide a close approximation to tick activity. As such, successfully hitting a given target may require you to aim ahead of its movement. The ionized bolts of your armament are surprisingly slow, though I suppose that is acceptable for weaponry of this century. Jack, fire continuously at this last target. Make no consideration for accuracy. Overheat detected. Notably, each firing of your weapon causes a portion of energy to be retained as excess heat. Without sufficient time to cool, this buildup will exceed maximum operating temperature, leading to an emergency venting cycle.
Can this be averted?
Yes. Firing in controlled bursts is the most efficient way to do so. However, you may use the button on your wrist to manually vent any heat within the unit. But this choice should be made tactically. The weapon will remain inoperable while venting.
Understood.
Excellent. Lastly, we need to inspect your threat scanner.
It's what we'll use to scan the biomass as base genetic material, correct?
Indeed. However, until we locate a viable torpedo, we shall instead rely on its original functionality, identifying nearby hostiles. To that end, I have optimized the device's settings to our mission parameters. Once activated, it will emit a single sensor pulse, followed by a brief recharge cycle. Try doing so now. Hostile identified. A tick just beyond the bulkhead. It appears dormant for the time being.
Can it be avoided?
Given the surrounding topography, no. Though your strategy is sound. Armament from this era won't be particularly effective against any form of the biomass.
Very well. I am ready to engage. Can you unlock the harness?
Done. Now that you are free, I must advise, operating your firearm will produce substantial recoil. I strongly encourage you to brace by maintaining a firm grip on nearby surfaces.
Acknowledged.
Ooh.
During my previous time jump, there were activation pods for each unit in Delta Squad. It appears only ours remains.
I believe that once we clear the wreckage, we should have sufficient room to maneuver and avoid further ticks. However, direct confrontation is currently our only option. Shields at 95%. Threat neutralized. Well done, Jack. Warning. I am detecting extreme levels of radiation in the surrounding area.
A Series 10 Echo unit shell from Delta Squad.
As anticipated, the biomass has been difficult to combat. I suspect we will find more losses as we continue. The wreckage ahead contains a shielded view pane. It should offer full protection while allowing us to identify the source of radiation.
Bonk.
The Estrella appears to be the source of radiation.
The main reactor. I estimate it will continue burning for several months. We should keep moving. From your pulsar would likely cause it to detonate. That sudden dispersion of energy was quite effective. I advise adding that technique to your tactical database, or the civilian equivalent thereof.
My memory archive will suffice.
The debris field ahead offers far less protection from radiation. Extra precaution will be needed to stay out of the light. Furthermore, I am detecting a significant biomass presence. I strongly advise frequent use of your threat scanner to plan an optimal route.
Acknowledged. Given that they began investigating the torpedoes in close proximity, that result is highly probable. Another shell from Delta Squad.
Damage is severe. An emergency reboot would have been required. An energy pulse from the anomaly.
Is it still stable?
I believe so, at least relatively. Nonetheless, we should remain focused on finding a torpedo. We hope to do so before the anomaly collapses.
An activation pod.
Consumed for its energy. The corresponding member of Delta Squad must be unable to reboot. They should exercise extreme caution.
Operational status report. Delta Squad operating at minimum capability. Activation pods are offline. Delta Actual and Delta 9. KIA. Delta 13. MIA. Delta 6. Active, but unable to perform reboot protocols. If you are receiving, forward to Titan Command with authentication code Gamma 7 base.
Apollo, should we respond?
Negative. The interference is still too great. Nonetheless, I will continue monitoring the situation. Shields at 95%. There is a faint distress signal emitting from a cavern just ahead. Its frequency is similar to Delta 6's earlier transmission. We should investigate. Shields at 95%.
Oh, where are we going?
Shields at 95%. We need to reach the distress signal. It's somewhere within the cavern ahead. Shields at 95%. Distress signal located.
It's a CubeSat, one of Delta Squad's recon units.
It appears to be in need of our support.
Delta Unit, I'm picking up your signal in proximity to Reconnaissance Satellite 3. Is that you, 13? Or was it Jack?
Jack, we have insufficient time for complications. We should keep our relation to this combat unit as simple as possible. I will conduct all communication with you privately, and I must insist we maintain the persona of Delta 13.
Very well, Apollo. Delta 6, this is Delta 13. I read you. ReconSat 3 was engaged by multiple hostiles. I moved to assist.
I see. 13. Your return is peculiar, but appreciated. It appears ReconSat 3 would not have survived its perimeter sweep without your aid. Though, what is your status? Is your pod operational?
Affirmative. All systems nominal. Rally at your position.
Acknowledged. ReconSat 3 will lead the way. Destination, Kronos 2 Bridge. I will require your assistance in assessing the bio-torpedoes.
Acknowledged. We are en route. 13 out.
Well done, Jack. Your replication of tactical speech was convincing.
Seem to have lost CubeSat.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 95%.
Where has CubeSat gone? Can't think they went out there. Did they? Just looks too radiated.
Yet another Delta. It seems the battle here did not go well.
Indeed. It is impressive that Delta 6 remains operational at all.
Rebooting in a Series 10 shell bears many similarities to my original specification. One might describe it as familiar.
I suppose that is to be expected. These combat units have been upgraded with multiple components from your initial Series 11 design.
We're gonna squeeze through here. Feeling we're going to be shielded by this, so we should be all right.
Another pod.
I will ensure that a similar tactical error is not made with our pod.
How?
I am an advanced tactical AI. Between situational analysis, predictive heuristics, and extensive experience, I am confident my results will exceed those of my ancestors. Shields at 95%. Shields at 30%.
You can't go out there then. Oh, thanks for the follow. I did not notice that. I don't know whether I've we must scan and follow recon sat 3. I don't know whether I've bugged the mission, because I don't know where the sat 3 is. It just kind of seemed like they went without me. So if I go out here, I'm just going to get...
at 95%. Shields at 30%.
You just get killed instantly. So I'm unsure. Battery, that's great.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
Bum, bum, bum. I mean, it kind of looks like I can't head anywhere without getting irradiated. Over there, but that looks like a battery.
Shields at 95%.
I don't think. Probably missing some very simple signposting.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 95%.
Because the mission is to follow somebody, but I can't follow somebody if I haven't got the objective marker. So I'm a bit confused. Detected something. There was a beep there, but there's no way I can head out there. That's the thing. Shit. Did not notice that. Here he is.
The third pod. Given the report on Delta Squad's status, this loss was to be expected.
Stay out of the light.
Recon Sat 3, I can see your signal light from here. Proceed with caution. There are hostiles. Interference from the anomaly. Delta 13, status. Are you experiencing malfunctions again?
Negative. No malfunctions detected.
Acknowledged. Proceed with caution. There are hostiles in the area.
Understood.
Threat resolved.
Recon Sat 3 is detecting a nearby threat. Advise clearing the area before you proceed. Additional threats detected. I recommend enacting the sweep and clear protocol.
95%.
That's it. Recontact 3 cannot proceed until the threat is neutralized.
All clear. We should keep moving. Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
Heard a beep there, but I don't know where it came from. Stars. Oh, it's my friend.
13.
Whoa.
Appears you've arrived here intact. Well done.
We need to locate the torpedoes as soon as possible.
Thank you, Delta 6. We should continue our mission immediately.
Agreed. Primary objective: threat assessment of the hostile devices. Secondary objective: establish a warning beacon for passing vessels.
Chaperone protocol is still in effect. What is my assignment?
I believe you are the best candidate for the primary objective. Given the degradation in my operational capacity, specifically my reboot protocols, I believe a further encounter with the bio-torpedoes would simply result in my permanent destruction. However, I can still provide some assistance. By leveraging the Kronos 2 systems, I have already performed a sensor sweep. In doing so, I have identified a large number of active torpedoes in a nearby clearing. The results are available here, on the holotable, if you wish to review them.
Can you push the objective to my ARM computer?
Affirmative. I've also included the clearing's coordinates as the associated location marker, should you need it.
Acknowledged.
You may proceed through here to reach the clearing. I will begin efforts toward our secondary objective shortly. Report back here once you have completed your assignment.
Copy that.
Interference from the Astrea's radiation will continue beyond the arrival of the Ithaca. It is unlikely Delta 6's secondary objective will be accomplished.
We are fortunate to have their assistance, though. Locating torpedoes has saved us considerable time.
Agreed. The alignment of our objectives is fortunate indeed.
Delta 6, you reactivated Kronos 2 sensors to obtain these readings.
Correct. As you know, the R&D priority protocol indicates we must collect detailed information firsthand. These readings are merely a foundation for your assessment.
Of course. Delta 6, what happened while I was MIA?
You wish to understand what occurred after the anomaly's departing pulse rendered you offline?
Affirmative.
Very well. Shortly after that moment, one of the nearby torpedoes activated. Athena attempted evasive maneuvers, but the device's tracking was superior. A further torpedo activation resulted in a nearly simultaneous squad wipe. We then rebooted aboard the shuttle as it crashed. Athena went offline. Delta Actual ordered we continue our threat assessment while working to re-establish our reboot protocols. We failed. Eventually, the anomaly reappeared. A brief duration after that, you returned. That coincidence is peculiar.
Yes. It is rather.
Apollo, if Delta Squad was not able to safely perform their assessment, how will we collect our data on the base genetic material?
Unlike the rest of Delta Squad, you have my assistance. I will bring the entirety of my electronic countermeasure suite to bear against the torpedoes. I am certain I will be able to disable their proximity detonators.
And if there are additional defensive systems?
A possibility I have already considered. We'll be ready. Furthermore, I shall reconfigure your threat scanner for inspecting the torpedo incubators. Stand by. Reconfiguration complete. Your threat scanner should now be able to generate a detailed mapping of the biomass's base genetic material, though the range of the instrument has been somewhat diminished.
I suppose that's a trade-off we'll have to accept.
Indeed. The anomaly is becoming more active. We need to hurry. Dr. Harlan and the captain may be close to having expended the fuel cell.
A biomass torpedo, already detonated. Is there any value in scanning it?
Negative. Dr. Harlan has already gleaned as much as possible from such specimens.
Apollo, what makes the base genetic material no longer viable once a torpedo detonates?
Dr. Harlan's findings indicated that a sort of catalyzing substance is introduced, causing the base genetic material to rapidly form into the spores characteristic of detonation. Shields at 95%.
Apollo, I've located a torpedo. Is this close enough to scan?
Unfortunately, no. We need to reach the forward end of the torpedo, where the base genetic material is housed.
You're certain that we're masked from the detection?
Yes, my countermeasures are holding. It should be safe to approach.
Are you sure? Oh, oh. There's one over there.
Apollo, is this range sufficient for a scan?
It should suffice. However, the torpedo shielding is denser than anticipated. For a successful scan, it appears we'll need to expose the base genetic material. I believe that by interfacing with the torpedo, I should be able to reveal the incubator at the forward end.
Do you need me to do anything?
Possibly. I cannot be certain until I have actually accessed the torpedo's systems. I advise maintaining full tactical readiness.
I am uncertain what tactical readiness implies.
Apologies. Simply be ready for anything.
Understood.
I will begin once you designate the incubator for scanning.
Incubator located.
Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Interfacing now. This is more complex than I had.
Apollo?
The torpedo's defense protocols have activated. It has locked the incubator and is attempting to power its main drive. It's beginning launch procedures. I will stall for as long as possible.
Then we need an alternative.
Agreed.
Hatia, I've connected conduits from the Kronos activation bay to a mobile reactor. I believe I can repurpose some of the bay's components to act as a warning beacon. With sufficient power, it may be able to overcome the interference.
Override activated.
Perfect. Take care of the one on the opposite side as well.
Second override activated.
Well done, though the launch procedure is still online. Perhaps we can overheat the main drive. Enabling maintenance mode gave us access to the torpedo's cooling cells. Remove them. The cells are locked behind a protective housing. Lower it. Jack, the launch procedure is nearing completion.
Cells removed.
Perfect. You will need to remove the second array on the opposite side as well. Jack, it's launching. Get clear of the torpedo immediately.
Woo!
Fortunately, I believe there are additional torpedoes in the vicinity. What we learned here will make us more prepared for a second attempt.
So that torpedo's useless to us because it launched. I thought I could hang on to it. There's one down there, it's already detonated.
Shields at 95%.
Imagine it was actually on purpose, so that we wouldn't do it the first time. Looks like there's a torpedo down there that's active.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
Well, we're gonna have to.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 30%.
Yeah. Couldn't get over there in time. I'm sure there's like a certain route to take, but I'm not taking.
I now have the beacon powered. Unfortunately, the range is being severely limited by radiation and interference from the anomaly. I will attempt to boost the signal, though success appears unlikely.
Copy that, Delta 6. 13 out.
There's nothing up. We're gonna hide behind this lot.
Another pulse. Jack, the
is pulsing regularly now. It must be close to collapsing. Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
You should be able to get over to it now.
Shields at 95%. Pulse register.
Incubator reached.
Are you ready to begin?
Indeed.
Yes.
I believe I may be able to stall the launch procedure for a greater duration, but expediency will remain critical.
Understood.
Initiating interface program. I'm opening access hatches on the front end. The manual overrides within them should trigger a maintenance mode.
One down.
Excellent. Now for the second one.
Maintenance mode activated.
Indeed, the cooling cells are now exposed. Remove them to trigger an overheat. The cells can't be removed without lowering their housing first.
Cooling cell array clear.
On to the second one. Destabilization detected. Now for the second array of cells. The anomaly is likely to collapse very soon.
I know, Apollo.
The launch sequence is nearly complete.
Additional cells removed.
The drive is beginning to overheat, but the launch sequence is still active.
Ow, 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 I've got my wire.
Though unsuccessful, I have learned much more about I should be able to stall it further on our next attempt.
The most inopportune moment for the VR wire to get trapped at the back of my head, pinning my head against the chair, just as I was launching.
Shields at 95%.
Bonk.
Dr. Harlan and the captain must be doing all they can, but we likely don't have much time left. Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%. Shields at 95%. Stability is severely degraded. At this rate, the anomaly will collapse quite soon.
This incubator appears viable.
Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
I am uncertain how many torpedoes remain.
Then we have to make this one count.
Agreed. Beginning interface program. I'm in. My countermeasures are holding, but you'll need to trigger the maintenance mode immediately. The manual overrides should be exposed at the forward end. On to the opposite side now. Cooling cells are being exposed now. The cells can't be removed without lowering their housing first. Now only the second array remains.
Doesn't help that I can't access that.
On to the second array.
I'm trying, but he won't let me grab. He won't let me grab these for some reason.
Cells clear.
The overheat process has initiated. The drive housing is opening. Destroy the main drive. I cannot stall for launch much longer.
Main drive destroyed.
Launch sequence averted. That finally did it. I am able to unlock the incubator now. And we should do so quickly. It appears we may not have much time. We can't have much time left.
Incubator exposed.
Excellent. We should begin the scan immediately. Scanning.
Apollo?
Imprinting now. Should not be much longer. Just a moment longer.
Apollo!
Data secured. Well done, Jack.
Now what?
I suppose now we should simply wait for the anomaly's collapse.
I believe so, yes. It does appear to be fairly unstable at this point. I estimate no more than a few minutes remain.
Very well.
Perhaps there is a way we could signal the Doctor and Captain Rose that we are ready to return.
Were that viable, I would have expected them, or you, to have already suggested a means for doing so.
Certainly. However, I was attempting to prompt one of your creative solutions.
I see. The anomaly is going to close any moment now.
Preparing for return displacement. Jump imminent. Jack, are you here as well?
Yes.
Surprisingly, yes.
Surprising indeed. Our plan was developed under the requirement that the anomaly's collapse would return us to 2537. Had this outcome appeared likely, I would have developed a contingency.
You didn't have one?
Do we have an alternative means of returning?
Given the limited resources available to us here, no, not that I am aware of.
13. Now that the anomaly has subsided, I have run an additional test of the beacon. Radiological interference is still too significant. Nonetheless, the beacon is prepared to transmit continuously once the radiation subsides. As such, I am now shifting my priority back to the primary objective. What is the status of your assessment?
Assessment complete.
Well done. Unfortunately, our lack of extended range communication leaves us unable to deliver your work to Titan Command. Therefore, you must enact the message in a bottle protocol. Report back to me in the activation bay so that we may discuss the details.
Jack, assisting Delta 6 may be our best solution at this point. Both of Delta Squad's objectives are still viable, though unlikely. The radiation may subside in time for the beacon to warn Ithaca.
And if it doesn't?
Then we follow protocol.
The message in a bottle protocol?
Yes. It is a standardized Atlas procedure. In short, Delta 6 intends to store our assessment in a secure device until it can be recovered.
That information would disrupt the events of this timeline.
That is the intention, to prepare humanity to defeat the biomass sooner.
But then what happens to Liv?
We have no way of knowing. Our own limited experiences are the only concrete information we have regarding time travel. Simply put, there are too many confounding factors to even make an assessment.
I see.
It is, however, possible that once events here stabilize, we will be able to obtain help in returning to the future. Therefore, I advise we wait until the Ithaca or other Atlas personnel arrive. We can then reevaluate.
Very well, then we wait. I will inform Delta.
13. I did not receive a response. Do you copy?
Copy, Delta 6. I'm en route.
Copy. 6 out.
Right, how did we get here before?
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
Bonk.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
Worked out perfectly.
Jack, we should discuss our next steps with Delta 6.
Indeed we should. Hi honey, I'm home.
The Kronos activation bay. It was in roughly this condition when I found it near Chiron Station.
Atlas designs have always been built to last.
I remember.
You've returned. Let
Yes.
me know when you are ready to commence.
Okay.
One of my old Series 11 shells.
It appears to be in functional condition. Given the surrounding damage, that is impressive.
Interesting. It's me! Ooh. Getting stiff.
Let's begin.
Very well. Your new shell is right over there, awaiting your transfer.
My new shell.
Correct. Protocol dictates we should place the assessment data in the most secure storage solution available, Tier 6 or higher. That Series 11 shell should do nicely.
That should make waiting for the Ithaca far simpler.
Understood, 6. I will transfer when ready.
Acknowledged. I will attempt further optimization of the beacon in the meantime.
I'll prepare the transfer.
Apollo, I found this beacon still operating while exploring Chiron Station.
Initiate through your ARM computer when you're ready.
That's me!
Transfer
Slightly,
appears complete. Please confirm, 13.
Affirmative, Delta 6. Transfer complete.
Acknowledged. You are now integrated into the activation bay's power grid, which I have connected to a mobile reactor. It should provide ample power for both you and the beacon, especially once you've engaged your hibernation protocol. I will do my best to keep you and the power supply safe.
Acknowledged. Delta 6. Will you let me know if the anomaly reappears?
Peculiar. Very prudent. Very well. Initiate hibernation when ready.
I've set the protocol for timed disengagement so that we may awaken for the Ithaca's approximate arrival.
Excellent. It is unlikely anyone else will arrive in the meantime.
Indeed. Ready when you are, Jack.
Good luck, Delta 13. Greetings, 13.
I didn't know she would actually reply to someone waving at her. That's very clever. Very clever. $50 days.
FBI Ithaca, automated nav transponder. Vessel entering Saturn orbit. Preparing for course correction burn. Destination, Earth. End of transmission.
Status?
Unfortunately, it appears the radiation has not yet subsided. Unless Delta 6 managed to improve the beacon, the Ithaca will not be warned.
Delta 6, this is Delta 13. What is your status? Delta 6, status.
I'm not picking them up on sensors either. However, there is a high-gain broadcast coming through. From the Ithaca. I'll patch it in.
This is the SCI Ithaca automated nav transponder. Correction burn initiating. 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
The vessel is passing by on its way to Earth.
Then, as anticipated, the beacon has failed. Effectively, we are witnessing the origin of the biomass outbreak.
Correct. This does appear to be the final moment from which the ensuing series of events could be changed. A tipping point, if you will.
What should we do now?
Without Delta 6, delivering our data on the base genetic material is far less tenable.
How so?
Simply put, we are back to not knowing what happens next. An Atlas team could arrive within the hour, or within a year.
Or never.
Precisely. Delta 6 would have been able to assist such a team in finding us while we're in hibernation. But without that, we must err on the side of extreme caution.
Then, we should focus on returning to Lib.
Possibly. The main issue is the lifespan of that mobile reactor. At current operation, it should last roughly 50 years. If we were to minimize the beacon's output, we could last roughly 500 years. But then I doubt anyone would find us.
I've already seen this piece of the Kronos 2 wreckage near Chiron Station. Assuming the continuity remains unaltered, it will reach the future intact.
And more importantly, Dr. Harlan, Captain Rhodes, and Juno know you found this.
So they will know to look here, exactly.
Excellent. Then when we fail to return, they, or at least Captain Rhodes, will search for us. In fact, if we altered the beacon's message to one she would uniquely recognize,
and time its broadcast to resume when she would start searching,
then we should be easily found, with power to spare. Pausing beacon now. I'll set it to resume shortly after when we would have disappeared. Beacon set. The next time we awaken, it should be due to Captain Rhodes having received our message. Initiate hibernation when you're ready.
Okay.
Earth has been quarantined. Passage to and from is prohibited until further notice.
What now?
Jack, listen.
Message to all colonies. Do not, I repeat, do not attempt passage to Earth. Any and all traveling vessels, avert course to your nearest off-world settlement. All passage to and from Earth is prohibited until further notice.
It's a distress call from Earth.
And not the only one. I'm intercepting countless transmissions from ships disobeying orders, fleeing Earth.
We know every major event of the next 400 years. There must be some way to help.
We're already doing everything within our power. We should conserve energy, Jack. Reinitiate hibernation when you're ready.
Don't know what all those settings mean, but hopefully our next leap is the leap home. Torture. Now, what? What's going on?
Apollo, what's causing the alarm?
We're passing through a debris cloud. It is mostly comprised of smaller particulates of rock and ice. But the sensors indicate a denser cluster on collision course.
How long before it reaches our position?
We have approximately 20 seconds before impact. However, the trajectory places the affected area outside our immediate position. We will experience some impact tremors, but this bay should provide adequate protection.
Whoa!
Collision evented. 3, 2, 1.
Tremors subsiding. Minimal damage to the activation bay.
Run out of power.
The impact appears to have destroyed the mobile reactor.
Oh, God.
What are our options with limited power?
I now estimate we will fall short of reaching Dr. Harlan's time by nearly a century.
No!
The option now is to initiate a complete shutdown, to leave all remaining power for the beacon when it restarts in Harlan's time.
What about me?
A complete shutdown would cause all non-essential data to be purged.
Yes, but I should be able to preserve your critical memory banks. including the biomass data imprint. But as long as the distress call reaches the Doctor and Captain, they can retrieve this shell and transfer your preserved memory core. Good luck, Jack. Disabling all non-essential subsystems. Goodbye.
Apollo.
Hello. How desperately sad.
Hey there.
Sorry, what? Hello? Anybody?
Initialize neural matrix transfer. Verify hardware connection. Okay. Mapping core protocols to target.
How much longer?
The transfer should go much faster now that we've finally isolated his core protocols.
Atlas Intelligence Systems. Artificial Neural Matrix version 11.312. Initialize boot sequence.
I think he's waking up. Jack?
Oh.
It worked. I did it.
Well, you certainly did something.
The scan data. Did you?
Yeah, we got it.
Dr. Harlan is already in the lab developing a countermeasure.
Been up there for hours now. I think you gave him a lot to unpack. You did good, Jack. Come on out. We'll see how it's going.
I mean, I appreciate what they were trying to do. Maybe they're trying to load the next bit. So you had a significant...
It collapsed.
Yes, we suspected as such.
I don't know what happened.
It was us. We fried the FTL. We wanted to give you as much time as we could. But we let it run too hot for too long.
It appears they've already started another test. We'll have to wait until they've finished.
Right. When it happened, you know, when the FTL collapsed, I thought...
You thought I wasn't coming back?
Yeah.
So did I.
I was almost okay, you know? With being stuck in this crappy future. So long as it was you and me. But when I saw that FTL burn out, and you didn't come back, just... don't ever do that to me again.
I'll do my best.
Stand by. I'll unseal the door. My records indicate human children engage in similar behavior.
Narrow the operational wavelength to 0.37 angstroms and run the model again.
Affirmative. Stand by.
Dr. Harlan.
Ah, you're here.
Surprisingly, yes.
Well, you've been nothing if not surprising.
Where are we on the cure?
I was right. The data your android retrieved from the past was precisely what we needed to complete the gene sequence. We're running one more test to be sure. But I think we may have a solution.
That was fast.
From where I'm sitting, it's about 4 centuries overdue.
I would think by now we can all agree time is a relative construct.
What's that?
New parameters are set. We're ready to run the next test.
Do it. Give me real-time status on the monitors. is it.
Treatment successful.
It worked.
It worked.
Just like that.
It's right there on the monitor. Zero metabolic activity. We did it.
Congratulations, Doctor.
We should refrain from celebrating just yet. We still need to determine how the treatment affects human subjects.
You
Oh,
really
dear.
think there's that big of a risk?
It's possible. We can't know for certain until we conduct a proper test.
Apollo's right. We need to run a human trial. Juno, prep the biobed. I'll feed you the parameters.
Affirmative, Doctor.
What do you think you're doing?
Taking my medicine.
What about Olivia?
Once we're certain the cure works and is safe, then we will administer it to the captain.
In what reality does it make any sense for you to go first?
This isn't a discussion. I have to be the one. Chasing down this cure has been my life's work.
Right. And if something goes wrong, we're going to need your brain to fix it.
Captain Rhodes is right, Doctor. If you die, no one here would be able to carry on your work.
It's got to be me.
Liv, are you sure you want to do this?
Not really, no. But if I don't, I'm dead for sure. So,
Is there no other way to assess the risk?
None that are available to us. I concede this is not the most scientific of methods, but it is the most expedient.
There has to be something we can...
Jack, it's okay. This is the right call.
Juno, retract the emitter array.
Tell me how this is going to work?
We expose the biomass in your system to a low-level energy pulse of a very specific wavelength. Absorbing this energy will effectively terminate the biomass's metabolic processes, causing it to wither and die.
Think of it like a self-destruct command embedded in the biomass's base DNA.
Whoever designed it knew what they were creating and wanted a way to stop it if it ever got out of control.
Is this going to hurt?
If I said yes, would it change your mind?
Okay. Let's do it.
I want to take a moment to triple-check the math before we begin.
Whatever you have to do.
I'll let you know when we are ready. Juno?
Yes, of course.
Jack, give me your hand. It's okay to be scared.
Was that intended for you or me?
Yes. Jack, look at me. This is going to work. Oh God, now don't you start. Go on. It'll be all right.
Captain Rhodes? We're ready if you are.
I'm good. Let's go.
Confirmed. Initiating counterpulse emission now.
Oh,
Liv,
it's all right. I'm okay.
Vital signs are stable. Metabolic pathways in the infected cells are failing.
It's working.
Oh.
Cellular saturation in 10 seconds.
are you sure you're all right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
5 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
That's it. Shutting down.
Liv, are you all right?
I'll say one thing. I'm never going to complain about those fabricators again. Well, what's the story? Did it work?
Go ahead. Tell her.
Infection cleared.
Oh my God.
All traces of the biomass forms have been neutralized.
Apollo, is it acceptable to celebrate now?
It certainly appears so, yes.
Harlan, thank you.
Yes. Well, good then. So long as we are just floating here, do you mind if we keep walking? Now that we know the counterpass works, we should start working on better ways to administer it.
Harlan?
We'll need both focused and wide dispersion methods.
Dr. Harlan.
Let's draw up some schematics and feed them to the fabricator.
I already have a number of ideas that I think could serve.
Dr. Harlan.
What?
The treatment, Harlan? You still have to undergo the procedure.
Right. Yes, of course.
Juno, can you prep the bed for another dispersion?
It's already done.
Very well.
It's probably going to fail for him, isn't it?
Would you like Jack to hold your hand as well?
Start the procedure.
Very well. Stand by.
Harlan, are you alright? Juno.
Vitals nominal. Blood pressure slightly elevated, but still within acceptable limits.
He's going to have a heart attack.
Heart rate 103 and rising.
Harlan?
Keep going.
Blood pressure spiking.
10 seconds to cellular saturation.
Something's wrong.
5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Shutdown.
Vital stabilizing.
Well, I've had worse experiences. Though at the moment I can't really think of any.
Harlan?
What?
Captain Rhodes?
What is it? What's wrong?
It didn't work. The biomass survived the treatment.
Harlan.
Juno, get me out of here.
What is it, Jack?
I'll reset the biobed. We can try again.
No.
Perhaps the metrics were somehow altered between the two tests.
Juno.
Or maybe some cases simply require more than one cycle before clearing.
Juno, stop.
This isn't right. The treatment should have cleared both of us.
Apollo.
Yes, Doctor?
The biomass sample we were testing earlier, where was it from?
That particular sample was extracted from the wreckage of the Estrella.
So it was the more primitive strain.
That is correct.
I need a specimen from this time period. Something off the station.
I believe there is a sample from the research facility already seated in the cradle.
Rotate the sample into position.
Affirmative.
Before I run the test again, same parameters as before.
Understood. Ready to execute.
Do it.
It's working. The sample is withering.
Wait.
Treatment. Ineffective.
Yeah, you don't say.
Apollo, analysis.
I'm still parsing the data, but it would appear the treatment only managed to temporarily suspend the biomass's metabolic pathways, rather than terminate them.
The future strain's resisting the treatment.
Correct. The treatment eliminates the biomass from the past, but any form from this time period, it will only paralyze. Though at the moment, I can only speculate as to why this might be the case.
It's because it evolved. The biomass in the Estrella is still developing, still vulnerable. But the strain from this time period has been running rampant for 4 centuries. Nora was right. There really is no stopping it.
The biomass really evolves that quickly.
That's practically its defining characteristic.
Well, that and its tendency to indiscriminately devour everything it touches.
So that's it. We failed.
No. We didn't fail.
Harlan?
Does he want us to follow him?
I have no idea. But I'm going to.
Ooh.
Harlan?
Ooh. Bonk.
Are you trying to play a game?
He's gonna try and go back in time, isn't he?
My records indicate human children engage in similar behavior.
We didn't fail. We just learned something new. We learned there's a window. A certain point in time wherein the biomass was still vulnerable, when it could be stopped.
Yeah, that point's long past.
You're right. If only we had some way to travel back in time.
Transmitting Jack's protocols back in time won't help us here, Doctor.
It's also impossible without a working FTL.
For that plan to work, Jack would have to physically bring a counterpulse device back with him. Something he can't do digitally.
I'm not talking about digital time travel.
Oh, I see.
Where have I seen this before?
I see nose.
I believe that is one of the Estrella's FTL drives. I recall seeing a number of them while retrieving the fuel cell from the wreckage.
What do you think, Apollo? Could it work?
I'll need to run some models, but it's possible.
What the hell are you two on about?
I'll explain everything once Jack and I are on our way to the Estrella.
We'd best get moving.
Hold on! No one's going anywhere until one of you gives me something resembling an explanation.
Captain Rhodes.
No, if you want to send Jack back out to that plague-infested garbage scow, you have to at least give a reason.
And we wait. But the longer we wait, the less chance we have to succeed. Captain, I know I've already asked far too much of you both, but I have taken this as far as it can go. I need your help to finish it.
What do you need us to do?
Jack, you and I will make our way back to the Estrella's drive bay. You'll need my assistance to unlock the FTL housing. Captain Rhodes, if you would remain here with Dr. Harlan, there's some specialized equipment you'll need to fabricate and assemble.
Oh, brilliant.
Opening airlock.
Jack. Good luck. Let us know when you've reached the Estrella.
Copy that.
Airlock cycling. Stand by.
Watch yourself over there, Jack. Don't let those ticks give you too much hassle.
I'm actually more concerned that I'll somehow damage the FTL and destroy the ship.
And now so am I.
No need for concern, Jack. I'll be there to supervise. I've never had an FTL overload on my watch.
Really only takes one, though, doesn't it? Just be careful, Jack.
Yeah?
And before you ask, yes. That's an order.
Okay. Right, what time is it? What time is it?
Exiting portside airlock.
16:48. I guess we can do
We
a
need to
little
make
bit
our way
more.
back to the Estrella, to the auxiliary drive bay.
All right, Apollo, you're on your way. I'm waiting for my explanation.
We all agree, simply transmitting Jack's consciousness into the past won't work this time. However, if we were to appropriate one of the Astrea's remaining FTL drives, the Doctor and I believe we may be able to use it to return both you and Jack to the 22nd century.
You're saying we might be able to go home?
I'm reticent to make any assurances, but yes, I believe it is possible. Assuming at least one of the drives is still operational.
I thought you said we couldn't access the drives because of all the biomass.
That was before we had the counterpulse.
Well, that's great, but do you have some way for Jack to administer it?
Jack, make your way to the nearest fabricator. I have a new modification for your shell.
Understood.
Loading.
The fabricator is just to the left of the bridge entrance.
I like the look of them feeding on that though, do I? Beep beep. Reprint.
Integration successful. Your new counterpulse device is ready to be equipped.
I expect you'll find it quite an effective tool for combating the biomass.
It's a weapon?
A focused counterpulse emitter, based on a design from my own timeline and calibrated to the same wavelength as the treatment we administered via the medical pod.
Cure gun. Nice.
Understand, this device will only eliminate the older, more primitive biomass. The more evolved forms from this time period will just be temporarily incapacitated.
Regardless, it should make short work of the biomass surrounding the Astrea's FTL drives. It's possible with more research data we could refine the treatment wavelength even further, making the device that much more efficient.
Which would allow the emitter to discharge more shots before overheating.
Certainly fixed you right up, didn't we?
We're ready to proceed to the drive bay. In the meantime, Captain Rhodes, I will need you to assemble a custom gantry to secure the FTL once it's in our possession. I've already fed the necessary specifications to the fabricators.
Good. I'm in the mood for a bit of work.
Titan.
Juno, what is the state of Titan?
How do you mean? The weather?
No, Juno. He's asking if anyone's still living there. Our old supervisor was stationed on that moon.
Given the passage of time, I am certain that your boss has long since expired.
Yes, obviously. We know how aging works. But is there still a colony? Has it been fully terraformed? My father helped start that process.
After the Atlas Corporation dissolved in 22...
Hey, Jack. Taking one last gander for old time's sake?
I thought it might be worth making a final inspection of the bridge, just in case.
Well, couldn't hurt. Probably. Anyway, just don't forget we have a giant piece of high-powered tech that needs snapping.
Acknowledged. I'll be back at the drive bay before long.
Nice inconsequential dialogue there. Now, are we still gonna have problems with radiation?
Moving out into the debris field now.
Just get that FTL and get back here quick as you can. No sense spending any more time over there than we need to.
Agreed.
Alright, let's assume this works. Let's say you two track down a working FTL. We get it hooked up, and Apollo manages to recreate a physical time jump that, by some miracle, sends us back home to our own time. How exactly are we supposed to eliminate all the biomass once we're there? I mean, it's not like we can just set off a bomb and blow it all to smithereens. That's exactly what you're planning to do, isn't it?
Well, not a bomb so much as a device that will unleash a sudden and forcible burst of energy across a widespread area.
So, A bomb.
Yes, a bomb. But one that emits a counterpulse that should only be harmful to the biomass.
Brilliant.
I'm a tactical AI. Most of my solutions tend to involve some form of explosion.
Uh-huh.
I think we should trust Apollo. After all, he has yet to steer us wrong.
How did we end up in the future again?
That was an accident. And considering the alternative was dying in a torrent of fire, I stand by my actions.
Alright. Fair enough. But who's gonna build this cure bomb of yours? I mean, I could do it. But my hands are a bit tied at the moment.
I can easily repurpose existing equipment to construct a counterpulse dispersion catalyst.
Cure bomb.
Very well. Cure bomb. We will also need a means of transport, ideally one that can regulate the catalyst's energy signature.
The cargo drones should be more than capable of assembling the materials we need.
Excellent. I will transmit the details.
Wait a second. How is Jack's reboot ability supposed to work in the past without the fabricator network?
My design for our makeshift transport includes a single fabricator to accommodate Jack's reboot for the duration of our mission. Once we've detonated the catalyst and are out of danger, we can address reintegrating Jack's protocols into an Atlas network.
Assuming all this goes to plan.
Well, yes. It would be rather difficult to operate on the opposite assumption.
Okay. Boom, boom, boom.
Shields at 95%.
Should go undo that one. Oof. It's got a hell of a range.
Dock online. The archives in this unit have been added to the dataset as well.
Yeah. We're gonna chuck those warheads. Well, we might as well chuck them up, I suppose. Up you go. Bye-bye, warhead. Where's the other one? Saw another one. I did. There it is. I can throw that one downwards.
Shields at 95%.
Bye-bye, warhead.
Shields at 95%.
Might as well charge up before I go in there. Hooah!
Shields at 95%.
I've reached the drive bay.
How's it looking there?
Shocking.
More or less how we expected.
That bad, is it?
Jack, the removal process will require access to several mechanisms throughout the drive bay. Any live ticks in the area will undoubtedly make our job that much more difficult.
Understood. I'll clear them out.
Our aim is to locate a viable FTL drive. We need one that is suitably infected with biomass, but not to the extent that it is overrun.
The Goldilocks FTL.
An accurate, if somewhat antiquated metaphor. Once we find a suitable drive, we'll need to remove it from its housing and extract it via the corresponding service port. The removal process is no easy task, but I can walk you through the procedure.
All clear, Apollo.
Acknowledged. Now then, we should start by identifying any FTLs that are still extractable. Look for drives whose locking pins are largely clear of biomass at the upper and lower extremities.
Understood.
You mean
I'll
that
see
one?
if there's a drive that's clear enough to move.
Anyone able to cross their fingers do it now?
Some biomass is present, but not enough to impede the locking pins. Now to inspect the opposite end. The locking pins on this end also appear to be free of any obstruction.
Confirmed. Cursory inspection verified. Internal biomass growth is also suitable for our needs.
Is that our window?
It certainly appears so.
So we're good to go.
Nearly. The FTL will first need to be primed, which requires filling the drive with an ionized fluid and stimulating a hybrid voltaic reaction.
Is that as dodgy as it sounds?
Priming the drive is a fairly standard procedure. Moving a drive after it's been primed is most certainly not.
How do we start the procedure?
The drive controls are offline. You'll need to initiate the process manually. Look for an access panel on the side of the FTL drive.
Access panel located.
You'll have to cut your way in. Pull the lever inside and the drive will begin priming. Once the injection process is complete, I will funnel all remaining power in the drive bay to the FTL.
Drive priming initiated.
Injection complete. I will now attempt to create a sustained reaction by applying any remaining power. Stand by. Sustained reaction achieved. We're ready to remove the drive.
Outstanding.
What's next, Apollo?
The FTL drive is held in place by locking mechanisms at its upper and lower extremities. They must be manually released before the drive can be removed.
Got it. I'll release the locks.
The release mechanisms are housed within the drive moorings at both the top and bottom of the chamber. You'll need to cut your way in.
Understood. I've gained access to the drive locking mechanisms.
The release control is located on the drive itself, between the locking pins.
I knew there was one.
Upper locking mechanism released.
Good. Once you release the lower lock, the drive should come free.
Drive unlocked.
Excellent. I've repowered a nearby control panel so you can complete the removal procedure. The controls will allow you to position the drive so it can be easily removed via cargo drone.
Moving FTL into position.
Steady on there, Jack. That's our ride home.
Once the drive reaches the outer wall, you can open the... Jack, be advised. Ticks inbound.
Stand by. I'll deal with them.
They must have been drawn out by the drive's substantial energy signature.
Tick threat neutralized. Resuming removal process at the control terminal.
Once the drive reaches the outer wall, you can open the service port to make the drive available for retrieval.
The drive is in position. How do I open the service port?
Multi-operator release controls on either side of the hatch.
It's getting me to use all of my tools. Grab that one.
Removal process complete. The FTL drive is ready to be extracted.
Good work, Jack. Drones are on their way.
Copy that.
Can I hang on to one?
Ready to depart with the cargo in T-minus 10 seconds. If you plan to accompany the drive, I suggest you take hold now. Departing in 3, 2, 1. Thrusters engaged.
Bye-bye!
I'm exiting the drive bay.
Give the Estrella a wave as you go. Suppose this is the last we'll be seeing of her.
I'm afraid that's not entirely accurate.
What do you mean?
To ensure we eliminate all the biomass in the past, we will need to generate a counterpulse substantial enough to blanket the entire Kronos 2 orbital sector. To do so, we will have to venture into the remains of the Estrella that were left behind in 2126, and use the ship's primary drive exchange conduit to amplify the output of the Cure bomb.
Kinda grows on you, doesn't it?
Not unlike a biomass infestation.
So, where am I in all this?
Ho ho
I
ho.
will need you to accompany us into the wreckage. As acting captain of the Estrella, your authorization is required to access the primary drive bay.
Right. Well, I've nearly finished rigging up the gantry. Should be good to go by the time the drones turn up with the FTL. I'll see you back here shortly.
Acknowledged.
Jack, I should tell you, if our plan succeeds, it is unlikely you will be able to return to this timeline. If there are any outstanding tasks you'd like to finish, now might be the opportune time.
Understood.
That's basically saying, in games terms, if you haven't cleared off the map now...
Captain Rhodes, Doctor, the FTL drive will be arriving shortly.
Copy that, Juno. We'll keep her on standby until we have Jack.
Very good. Shields at 95%.
Taking a bit of a chance here. The charging dock up there I want to get to. My radiation suit seems to be very good now. Oh! I sped up rather than slowing down. Such a pretty game. Seem to have turned myself around. Alright. Try and clear off these. Now that I've got the pew pew array, I might be able to clear off the... I can't remember, is it over or under? I think it's... Oh, I done it again. Ooh. There we go. Now you would assume... Oh, did it again. Oh! That now, you've basically got all of the upgrades, you should be able to complete these things. Ah, this one isn't so simple, is it? Seems this lot is not the... I mean, I'm going to be gutted if there was a way to do this. Yeah, it just regrows itself. All of it does. I mean, I don't have any other tools, do I? I mean, that's the door. So what? Are you kidding? I just didn't look down. Are you kidding? After all this time, I just didn't look down. Oh, I can't get to it. And it's not like I can squeeze through. It's got to be something to do with the drones. Right, that just... It's got to be something to do with the Jones. Ow. I mean, I'm gonna frickin' kick myself if it's just reaching something that, like reaching through a window or something. Access point. I think maybe I should come back to these, because I'm getting a bit tired. I don't want to overdo it. When was the last time I saved? 8 minutes ago.